Oh, I cared about winning. I wanted to win everything, because I was just I guess my ego, my pride, false pride, if you want to call it that, I don't know. But I just couldn't stand the thought of losing. Even when I did lose, I was disgusted with myself for months, until I had a chance to get back into the cage or the ring.
But even with that mentality, you still would go out strong. You were never really on the back foot, right? So, I mean, I guess that was just a part of your style, you would say? Did that help you win?
Yeah, it helped me win, I mean, because, I didn't want to be embarrassed. I embarrassed myself when I was doing collegiate wrestling at Arizona State, at Oklahoma State, because I didn't give 100%, I gave probably 25% when I was college wrestling. I just showed up for practice and then go hit to the bar. I didn't hit the weight room, I didn't run, didn't do anything extra that is required of a person to go to the next level, and then the next level, and then the next level. I was just happy to be on the team. That was my goal. I set the goal to be on the team, and then I just left it there. Once you meet a goal, it's time you got to set another goal. And then you got to go another goal, and then another goal. Otherwise, you're stagnant, and you're just going to be a piece of dog shit, dried on the sidewalk, and eventually you're going to just blow away in the wind.
So it wasn't necessarily distractions or anything, or maybe that played a role, but it was more so set out for the goal, target, you hit it, and it's like, now what?
Now what? No, it wasn't no now what. It was just okay. Okay, I did it, and I'm going to stay here. I mean, that's wrong. You got to keep advancing in life.
I think that it seems to be maybe a common challenge with fighters to stay motivated, for example, especially when they win the belt, right?
Right.
You agree with that? You think it's hard to stay motivated once, because you've dreamed of it, you finally did it, you got the belt. Now you were the hunter, and now you're the hunted. How much does that matter?
Yeah, it matters a lot, the wolf at the top of the mountain, the wolf going up the mountain's hungry, but yeah, the wolf at the top of the mountain, the food is always there, So you just got to remember that, and you got to keep improving yourself, and you got to maintain. You at least got to maintain it, that level. If you're not going to improve it, you got to maintain it so that you can beat the people coming up.
Do you think that was a big reason for Conor's absence from the sport, or do you think maybe he just met his match with Khabib, and that changed things for him? And what do you think?
I think Khabib was everybody's match. Nobody can beat that guy. He got bulletproof, 10-foot tall, bulletproof.
What do you think about his wrestling?
He's phenomenal. Nothing you can take away from it. He hit his goal, and he's staying there. He's maintaining it. If he was to advance it a little, then he'd come back. But he has no desire to come back, and you can't blame him because nobody ever challenged him.
What do you think about that fighting style in general? A lot of people have come in from that region with similar style from Dagestan or maybe Chechnya and that sort of area.
Well, whether you enjoy watching it or not, too bad, and it's superior to every other style out there, But at one time it was the Gracies. Then I went to the Lions Den, Then I went to Severn's people, Severn and myself, and then I went to somebody else, It's always changing.
What was Don Frye's diet like back in the day? I mean, how dialed in was it? What were you eating? Were you eating anything? Are you conscious of your diet?
I ate everything I could get my fucking hands on because, I was working out. I was training, not working out, but I was training 8 to 10 hours a day. I was always, if I wasn't on the move, traveling from one place to the other, I was doing the actual training. If I wasn't doing the actual training, I was eating. If I wasn't eating, I was sleeping. If I wasn't sleeping, I was watching films on my next opponent. You know, it's a 24-hour thing, training.
Were you sparring a lot? Were you in the weights a lot?
I did it all. Man. I mean, you get up in the morning, go out, run 3 miles, come back, take a shower, eat something, go out and hit the bag. I'd take a CD. I'd throw a CD in a CD player. I'd hit the bag for the whole CD, or I'd jump rope for the whole CD. Or I do both. Then eat again and take a nap. And then get up and watch the fight film. Eat something else, then get in the truck and head over to the weight room. Come back, eat something. Jump in the truck and head to the sparring session.
I'm Don Frye, and you're not. Subscribe and learn how to be a man by watching me.